Good morning or afternoon, depending on when you're stepping into this activity. My name is Mr. Thurl, and today we're going to be working on a pretty quick activity that has two parts, which I'll walk you through. The goal of this activity is to give you a perspective on how far your money would go here in Minneapolis. To show you this, you have been assigned or given a $45,000 annual salary. Now, budgets are usually built on monthly amounts. So when we convert $45,000 over to a monthly amount, again, this is after taxes have been taken out, you end up with a net pay of $2,910. We're going to be using that number to fill out our monthly budget. If you're interested in how we got to that number, what you'll notice is in your activity, all of these are actually hyperlinked. So if I click on the yellow box here, I can see how I got to $2,910. For right now, we'll keep it moving. This is what you're actually going to do. You're going to complete the monthly budget below. And to do so, we have put together a price menu that reflects all of the current costs here in the Twin Cities for what you could expect to pay for these different items. Now, as you make your choices, what we want you to do is consider the lifestyle that you want to have. So for example, if you want to live in a big house, make sure that you pick the big house, keeping in mind that you only have $2,910 to spend. So as you walk through, you're going to click on the price menu, and the price menu will walk you through the monthly amounts for those different items. So for example, we're looking at our housing costs. So if I prefer to live in a 2-bedroom apartment, have a little extra space in case visitors come, I would have to pay on average here in the Twin Cities at least $1,000. Okay. As you keep going, you would see monthly rates per family member of food. So here, if I'm just pretending to be single and I shop at the grocery store, I could expect to pay $200 per month. Again, these are averages based on the Twin Cities market. But if that's not me and my lifestyle kind of looks at both eating at restaurants and grocery stores, then I'd want to scroll down and find $350. So those are your price menu items. This will go all the way through all the different things that are out there. What I would ask you to do is make your decisions, again, based on your lifestyle, and then you're going to come back here and enter in the amount for each decision that you make. Keep in mind that we're doing this for a single person, and one thing that you don't see on our chart is what if an emergency or something comes up that you couldn't plan for. Again, we just want to show you what things generally cost. When you get done putting in all your expenses, you'll total those up and enter that number right here. With that number, we want you to subtract your monthly income from your total expenses. And you should have a positive number here. If you don't, please go back and make some different choices. Once you've arrived at a positive number, the next thing you'll need to do is just a little bit of processing. We basically put two questions together. First, how did you do on your annual salary of $45,000? Did you end with a positive amount? And did you have to make choices that were not your first choice? So again, did you get everything that you wanted, or did you have to sacrifice some of your choices based on the budget you had? Number two, pretty simple. Here in the US, many people live paycheck to paycheck. What does that mean? I'm basically living from paycheck to paycheck. If I don't get paid next week or 2 weeks from now, I'm not sure what I would do. Again, a lot of people are living this way. So if an emergency came up, like we mentioned before, and that emergency cost more than $1,000, what would you have to do to cover it if you didn't have the money? So once you think about those two things and answer those questions, you're done with part one. And then we'll move on to part two. The reason that we're looking at a two-part assignment is part two looks at your future choices after you leave Hopkins. And what do I mean by that? I mean, what are you going to do for a career to earn money? And second, what are you going to do, or what training is involved to get into that field that you want to get into? And does it make financial sense? That's what we'll look at in part two.